You were trained to see the world through a child's lens: fairness, honesty, reciprocity. That lens was not designed to help you survive. It was designed to make you predictable. Morality, as you inherited it, is not a shield. It is a tracking device. Look closely at how you move. You signal your intentions early. You explain yourself. You seek agreement before action. You mistake being understood for being safe. This is not virtue. This is exposure. In competitive environments, exposure is harvested. Power does not operate on what should be. It operates on what is. And what is simple. Humans compete for resources, status, leverage, and survival positions. Every social structure, corporate, romantic, political, tribal, is a battlefield disguised as cooperation. The rules are unwritten because written rules can be exploited. The real game lives underneath. You were told that being good would protect you. In reality, being good makes you legible. Legible men are easy to model. Easy to model means easy to manipulate. You announce your boundaries. You defend your values. You telegraph what you will never do. You think this makes you trustworthy. It makes you controllable. The first illusion to destroy is the belief that intentions matter. They do not. Outcomes matter. Power does not reward purity, it rewards effectiveness. History is not written by the morally correct. It is written by the strategically dominant. The rest become footnotes, martyrs, or lessons. You likely believe that loyalty is noble. That transparency builds trust. That playing fair ensures long-term safety. These beliefs only survive in protected environments, systems enforced by stronger men willing to be ruthless on your behalf. The moment protection weakens, your beliefs become liabilities. Loyalty becomes a leash. Transparency becomes a map. Fairness becomes hesitation. Understand this clearly. Most people are not evil, but they are opportunistic. Under pressure, incentives replace ethics. Scarcity reveals nature. When resources tighten, when status is threatened, when fear enters the room, morality collapses into justification. Those who understand this early prepare. Those who deny it are shocked, then used. This chapter is not asking you to become cruel. Cruelty is sloppy and emotional. This is about removing naivety. Naivety is fatal. The world does not punish you for being bad. It punishes you for being weak. Weakness is advertised through moral rigidity, emotional disclosure, and the need to be seen as good. Notice who rises in any hierarchy. They speak less than they know. They reveal selectively. They let others expose themselves first. They are not driven by validation. They are driven by position. They do not moralize strategy. They execute it. Your current lens likely frames power as corruption. That framing was installed to keep you outside the machinery. If power were openly desirable, competition would be brutal. So power is demonized while obedience is praised. Compliance is relabeled as virtue. Submission is sold as peace. This is the shattering moment. Accept it or reject it. Either way, the game continues without your consent. From this point forward, you do not ask, "Is this right?" You ask, "Does this make me exposed or sovereign?" You stop seeking moral comfort and start seeking structural advantage. You detach your identity from goodness and reattach it to survival, leverage, and optionality. This lens shift is irreversible. Once you see the machinery, you cannot unsee it. The cost is innocence. The benefit is clarity. Those who refuse this shift will call it dark. They will call it cynical. They will call it dangerous. What they mean is this: it removes their advantage over you. And that is exactly why it is necessary. Power is not loud. That is the first thing you must correct in your perception. Loudness is compensation. Real power is quiet because it does not need permission, applause, or explanation. It moves through systems like pressure through steel, unseen until something collapses. The naive mistake is believing power lives in titles, money, or authority. Those are outputs, not sources. Power originates in asymmetry. Whoever knows more than you, needs you less than you need them, or can walk away while you cannot, controls you. Not emotionally, structurally. Every interaction is an exchange of leverage. Most men never audit this. They interact on emotion and expectation instead of position. They assume symmetry where none exists. They assume goodwill where incentives disagree. This is why they are shocked when outcomes turn against them. They never measured the terrain. The core mechanism is information control, not intelligence, control. What you reveal when you reveal it and what you never reveal defines your vulnerability. Emotional disclosure is framed as authenticity. In reality, it is data leakage. Every insecurity you share becomes a handle. Every principle you announce becomes a pressure point. Those who dominate do not lie constantly. That is inefficient. They curate truth. They allow others to expose themselves while remaining strategically opaque. Silence is not emptiness. It is uncertainty. Uncertainty forces others to project, guess, and overextend. While they talk, you collect. The second mechanism is dependency. Whoever sets the terms of need sets the hierarchy. If you are replaceable, you are disposable. If you are essential but not sovereign, you are trapped. Power is created by making others rely on you while you rely on as few as possible. Optionality is dominance. Notice how systems reward those who appear agreeable but remain internally uncommitted. They nod but do not bind. They participate but do not attach identity. They can pivot without apology. Men who fuse their self-worth to roles, relationships, or ideologies lose the ability to move. They become fixed assets, exploitable and slow. The third mechanism is emotional regulation, not kindness, not empathy. Control. Emotional men are reactive. Reactive men are predictable. Predictability is exploitable. The man who can absorb pressure without signaling distress forces others to reveal their intent. While they escalate, he calibrates. Understand this. Morality is often weaponized by those who already have power. They use it to constrain rivals who still believe in fairness. The rule set is not equal. It never was. The powerful operate above the rules while convincing the masses that breaking them is immoral rather than strategic. You were trained to seek validation through consistency, be the same everywhere. This is a vulnerability. Power requires contextual adaptation. You are not one thing, you are a variable. Those who insist on being authentic in all rooms surrender tactical flexibility. They are admired, then bypassed. The machinery runs on one principle. People respond to incentives, not ideals. If you design incentives correctly, behavior follows without force. If you misread incentives, no amount of moral argument will save you. This is why the moral man loses debates he should win. He is arguing values while others are negotiating outcomes. Once you see this, you stop taking betrayal personally. Betrayal is not emotional, it is structural. You were useful until you were. You stop asking why people changed and start asking when the incentives shifted. This removes confusion. Confusion keeps men weak. This chapter is not about becoming manipulative for sport. It is about refusing to be operated on while awake. You either understand the machinery or you are processed by it. There is no third position. The men who master this do not look dangerous. They look calm, unbothered, slightly distant. They are not aggressive, are unentangled. And because they are unentangled, they can apply pressure precisely when it matters. Power is not taken violently. It is accumulated quietly. then exercised once. If you still believe fairness governs outcomes, you will always arrive too late, confused by results you did not authorize. Every system sorts men whether it admits it or not by virtue, not by effort, but by function. If you do not choose your role, one will be assigned to you, and it will not be flattering. There are three recurring archetypes that dominate human hierarchies. They are not moral categories. They are survival positions. First, the pawn. The pawn believes in rules. He believes in fairness, process, and earned reward. He overinvests emotionally and underinvests strategically. He is loyal without leverage, honest without insulation, hardworking without ownership. Systems love pawns. They are reliable, replaceable, and self-policing. When exploited, they rationalize it as bad luck or personal failure. The pawn confuses effort with value. He believes visibility equals security. He talks about his struggles, his principles, his intentions. He mistakes transparency for trustworthiness. In reality, he is an open book in a closed book exam. His predictability makes him safe to manage and easy to discard. Second, the predator. The predator understands the game but plays it impulsively. He is aggressive, dominant, emotionally driven. He seeks control through force, intimidation, or charisma. Predators rise fast and fall faster. They trigger resistance, create enemies, and burn political capital. They mistake fear for respect and visibility for power. Predators are dangerous but inefficient. They are always on, always posturing, always escalating. This makes them easy to identify and isolate. Systems tolerate predators temporarily, then neutralize them. They are loud variables in environments that reward quiet stability. Third, the strategist. The strategist is invisible until he is. He does not seek moral approval or emotional dominance. He seeks position. He observes before acting. He withholds commitment until leverage is secured. He does not broadcast values. He deploys them selectively. The strategist understands that most conflicts are won before they start. By the time others realize a game is being played, the strategist has already placed the exits, the dependencies, and the narratives. He does not confront openly. He redirects outcomes. Here is the uncomfortable truth. Most men believe they are strategists. Almost all of them are pawns. They work inside systems they do not control, defend values they did not design, and fight battles that benefit someone else. Their confidence is borrowed. Their security is conditional. Predators despise strategists but cannot outperform them. Pawns admire predators because aggression looks like strength. Strategists let both believe whatever keeps them predictable. Ask yourself, when tension rises, do you react or reposition? Do you explain, or do you let others reveal? Do you feel compelled to be seen as good, or are you content being effective? Your answers expose your archetype. This chapter forces self-identification, not aspirational identity, functional reality. You are not what you intend to be. You are what your behavior enforces. And here is the most dangerous part. Systems are designed to keep pawns asleep. They reward surface compliance, punish deviation, and label strategic behavior as unethical. This keeps the hierarchy stable. Those who begin shifting archetypes are resisted, not because they are wrong, but because they are unpredictable. Transitioning from pawn to strategist requires identity friction. You will be misunderstood. You will be called cold, distant, arrogant. These labels are containment tools. They are applied to anyone who stops being manageable. You cannot become a strategist by declaring it. You become one by outgrowing the need to be liked, trusted, or morally validated. You stop playing for approval and start playing for position. Predators burn out, pawns are consumed, strategists endure. Selection is not fair. It never was. If these laws were theoretical, you could ignore them. If they were cultural, you could debate them. But they are biological and historical. They surface wherever humans are pressured. War, collapse, famine, corporate purges, social decay. The pattern never changes. Only the costumes do. History is not a story of cooperation. It is a record of selection. Civilizations rise on structure and fall on sentimentality. Every empire that believed its values exempted it from human nature eventually fed itself to that nature. The men who survived were not the most righteous, but the most adaptive. When resources are abundant, morality expands. When resources contract, morality collapses into hierarchy. This is not philosophy. This is pattern recognition. Under stress, humans revert to dominance, submission, alliance, and betrayal. The moral language changes, the behavior does not. Look at any organizational purge. Layoffs are never fair. Promotions are never purely merit-based. Loyalty is praised until it becomes inconvenient. Then it is reframed as naivete. The men who are shocked by this believe the system cared. The men who survive planned for it. War exposes this brutally. Soldiers do not die for ideals. They die for positioning errors made by strategists above them. Nations do not collapse because they lack values. They collapse because their leadership confuses moral signaling with structural strength. Enemies do not exploit weakness because they are evil. They exploit it because it exists. Even at the interpersonal level, the pattern holds. Relationships fracture not because people change, but because leverage shifts. Attraction, respect, loyalty, all decay when one side becomes more invested than the other. The man who believes love exempts him from power dynamics is the man most devastated by their enforcement. Human nature does not reward consistency. It rewards advantage. This is why men who do everything right are often bypassed. They followed a script that was never designed to promote them. The script was designed to stabilize the system using their compliance. Every moral system has enforcers. Ask yourself who benefits from you believing power is corrupt. Ask who rises while you hesitate. Ask who writes the rules you obey and who breaks them without consequence. This chapter deepens the threat deliberately, not to frighten you, but to remove denial. Denial is expensive. Denial keeps you reactive. Men who deny these patterns keep trying to negotiate with reality. Reality does not negotiate. Once you accept that selection is constant, you stop asking why the world is unfair. You start asking how it filters. You stop moralizing outcomes and start studying mechanisms. This is the pivot from victimhood to sovereignty. Those who reject this perspective will call it bleak. But bleakness is a luxury belief. Hunger, competition, and status anxiety strip illusions quickly. The men who survive pressure are not surprised by it. They were calibrated for it. The truth is simple and ruthless. Power concentrates, it always has. The NLY question is whether you are upstream of that concentration or crushed beneath it. History does not care about your intentions. It only records who adapted. Once illusion is gone, behavior must change. Not dramatically, not emotionally. Dramatic change attracts attention, and attention invites correction. The shift must be surgical, precise, quiet, and deniable. The first recalibration is silence. Not withdrawal, not passivity, selective opacity. You reduce unnecessary explanation. You stop narrating your motives. You let others speak first, commit first, reveal first. Information becomes currency again, not a compulsion. You begin measuring interactions instead of participating blindly in them. Who initiates? Who needs closure? Who becomes anxious when you delay? These signals expose leverage positions. The man who can wait controls tempo. Tempo control is dominance disguised as patience. Next, detachment from outcome signaling. You stop advertising how much something matters to you. Desire is pressure. Pressure is readable. Readable means exploitable. You learn to want privately and negotiate publicly. This alone separates operators from participants. You recalibrate loyalty. Loyalty is no longer given by default. It is exchanged for alignment and advantage. You remain courteous, professional, calm, but uncommitted. You support systems while remaining independent of them. If loyalty cannot be withdrawn, it is not loyalty. It is captivity. Then comes optionality. You quietly reduce dependence on single points of failure, one income stream, one authority figure, one identity role. Power flows toward the man with exits. Even unused exits generate leverage. Knowing you can leave changes how others treat you before you ever do. Your emotional regulation becomes disciplined, not suppressed. You do not vent upward. You do not confess sideways. You do not bleed in public. Emotional exposure is reserved for controlled environments or eliminated entirely. Others are allowed their emotions. You observe. You also recalibrate conflict. You stop confronting to feel strong. Confrontation is often ego, not strategy. You choose conflicts that compound position and avoid those that drain energy without yield. You let small violations pass if addressing them costs more than it returns. You strike only when it restructures the board. Crucially, you abandon the need to be understood. Being understood is a weak man's substitute for being respected. You allow misinterpretation if it protects your leverage. You let others underestimate you if it buys time and space. This chapter is not about becoming cruel or manipulative. It is about becoming unexploitable. The difference is intention and restraint. You are not hunting, you are hardening. Most men fail here because recalibration feels lonely. The approval disappears. The praise fades. People sense the withdrawal of access and respond with subtle hostility. This is confirmation, not error. You are exiting a role they benefited from. Do not announce the change. Do not justify it. Behavior is explanation enough. Strategic recalibration is boring to watch and devastating in effect. It does not look like power until it is too late to contest. You are no longer trying to win interactions. You are trying to survive systems. And survival done correctly compounds into dominance. This is where most men stop, not because they can't understand strategy, but because they can't survive the death it requires. Your old identity must be executed, not refined, not improved, killed. The identity that needed to be seen as good. The identity that derived worth from loyalty, reliability, moral consistency. The identity that believed being indispensable would make you safe. That identity was useful to others. It kept you predictable. It kept you emotionally invested. It kept you anchored to systems that extracted your labor, attention, and compliance while giving you the illusion of belonging. That version of you was never sovereign. It was domesticated. Identity is the deepest lever of control. Once a man fuses his self-image to a role, employee, partner, good man, team player, he becomes hostage to its approval mechanisms. Threaten the role and he self-corrects. No force required. This is why identity death is non-negotiable. As long as you need to be perceived a certain way, you can be steered. You will compromise strategy to protect image. You will hesitate to act if it risks moral condemnation. You will explain when silence would protect you. The execution is internal. External change without internal death creates cognitive dissonance. You'll relapse. You'll seek validation. You'll leak intent. The system will feel you soften and close back in. You must become comfortable being misread, comfortable being labeled cold, comfortable being excluded from emotional consensus. This is not arrogance, it is insulation. The replacement identity is not powerful man. That is ego bait. Ego is another. Leash. The replacement identity is functional. Observer, operator, sovereign unit. You define yourself by capability and position, not approval. You stop asking, who am I to them? You start asking, what leverage do I hold here? This death feels like loss because it is. You lose innocence. You lose easy belonging. You lose the dopamine of praise. What replaces it is clarity and distance. Distance is power. From distance, you see patterns. From distance, you are not pulled into emotional gravity wells. From distance, you choose when to engage and when to let outcomes play out without you. Most men never complete this step. They hover between awareness and attachment. They want the benefits of strategy without paying the price of isolation. They want sovereignty with witnesses. There are none. Power is lonely by design. If it were comfortable, everyone would have it, and then it wouldn't exist. This chapter does not make you stronger. It makes you harder to kill, socially, psychologically, structurally. Once the old identity is gone, there is nothing left to threaten you with except physical force, and most systems cannot afford to use that. This is the point of no return. At this stage, there is nothing left to soften. If you are still listening, you are no longer ignorant, you are accountable. Most men will leave here stimulated, not transformed. They will agree internally, then return to familiar behaviors. They will keep explaining themselves, keep signaling loyalty, keep mistaking exposure for authenticity. The system depends on this relapse. It is how hierarchies preserve themselves without visible force. Selection is already happening. It does not announce itself. It unfolds quietly through access, promotion, influence, and survival. Some men are being positioned. Others are being buffered, kept comfortable, busy, and irrelevant. Comfort is not reward. It is containment. You are not competing against evil men. You are competing against men who understand leverage earlier than you did. They are not louder. They are not more moral. They are simply less attached. They move when you hesitate. They withdraw when you commit. They let you carry the emotional cost of systems they quietly profit from. This is the final inversion you must accept. The world does not punish cruelty. It punishes visibility. Those who dominate do so indirectly. They rarely give orders. They shape incentives and let others choose the outcomes that benefit them. If you reject this, nothing changes. You will still be selected, just not upward. You will be useful until you are replaced, loyal until you are unnecessary, moral until morality becomes inconvenient. There is no dramatic collapse, no villain reveal, just a gradual narrowing of options while others accumulate freedom. The elite do not announce themselves. They recognize each other through restraint, timing, and silence. Their signal is absence, not noise. When they speak, it is late in the process when outcomes are already constrained. This is your final warning because warnings end here. After this point, there is only observation. You will see these laws everywhere, at work, in relationships, in politics, in yourself. You will notice who advances and who is praised but stalled. You now know what the game optimizes for. adapt, or consent to being managed. There is no third path.